Oh,
All good.
there we go. Excellent. Welcome, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Let us know where you're logging in from, how you're doing. And as you can see, we have a very special guest. Many of you will recognize her. So we will get to introducing her in a moment here. But Erin McMichaels is with us. So we're so very excited about that. And we will get started here right away because we're going to be diving into some pretty awesome stuff. So welcome to week 8 of your TLS Team Tone Up Challenge. As always, our disclaimers, thank you for reading them. We go over them every week. So just a big shout out to all of our incredible teams who are participating with us in our Team Tone Up Challenge. So way to go, everybody. Woo woo. So excited. So this is our leaderboard of the week, ladies. This is the teams who are in it to win it, and the highlighted, fabulously fit team Last Laugh team. Oh, and then she even wrote it out for me so I'd say it right, and then I forgot. But it does mean unity. It means unity in Hawaii. Hawaii. Yes.
And healthy maniac.
Yes. They continue to be, showing up on the leaderboard quite often. So that's exciting.
Staying consistent.
That's right. We love that. Looking over to the right-hand side, we are so excited to see 1,811 pounds gone since we started. Erin, take a look at that. 1,550 inches gone. Woo!
That's the best. Wow. I really think that by the end of this 12 weeks Team Tone Up, we're going over 2,000 for sure.
Oh, yes. Yes. That is the goal. So
that's the goal. Let's aim for it, guys. Let's do it.
That's right. So as you guys know, we go through our 12-week health guide and journal here on these webinars. We're on week 8 this week. You can download this free on the website by taking the TLS weight loss and lifestyle profile. This week, we're going over chapter 8, which is about believing in yourself. And we're just so excited to have our special guest on tonight because this woman has really moved a mountain and climbed a mountain that, really less than 1% of people have. She's a wife, a mother of 2. She's an author. She's a motivational speaker. You'll know why here in a second. She's a retired licensed massage therapist and founder and lead coach of Shrinking Tribe. She started her journey with TLS 4 years ago. And we're just so excited that she's here with us. And Erin, welcome to the call. We're so stoked to hear from you tonight.
So
oh my gosh. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight, everybody. Make sure I'm not muted. Perfect. That's good. Thank you so much for being here tonight, guys. And I really want to say that from the bottom of my heart, like you showing up for yourself tonight is amazing. It's 8 o'clock my time on a Monday night. And here you are watching this call, showing up for yourself and your team because you care about your health and you want to progress in the things and your goals. Like that's awesome. So thank you for sharing that with us and trusting us with your goals and helping you navigate through this journey. Cause it's something that needs some help. Some of us need some, right? So that's what we're here for. So, just like Melanie said, I've lost a lot of weight. But most importantly, I've climbed that mountain and I'm really excited to bring a really, hopefully powerful message to you guys tonight about believing in yourself. But I'll tell you a little bit just quickly about me and maybe how I got to my heaviest weight. I was 402 pounds. And I was, oh goodness, you guys, if I had to sum it up after going on this 4-year journey, I would say it was because I never knew who I was. I never knew who I could become. And I never had any belief in myself or anything, honestly. So I got to a point after failure in my life. Like we had a business that went under. We had just thing after another hit us in life. And I tried 8 different times to lose weight and I failed every time at that. I would stop every time. And give up on myself. And it was so infuriating. So I had all of these things backing me up to why I couldn't accomplish this, you know? So I got to this place of just completely, just rock bottom for myself. You know, I found myself in a dressing room and I was trying on some clothes for a family photo shoot. Long story short, none of the clothes in the store fit me, you guys. None of the clothes in the store fit me. And that was the most devastating place I'd ever been in my life. I felt so like inhuman. Like I just felt so, I can't even explain it to you. I could take myself right back to the way I felt right in that instant. And that's what's kept me going this whole time. But it's just been such a crazy journey from that moment. But I realized in that dressing room when that poor little girl came back to me and said, ma'am, there's nothing in the store that's going to fit you. And I had to take my kids, you know, my 1-year-old and 3-year-old, and wheel them out of the store. And that walk of shame out of the store I never even felt in my life. I got in the car, cried the whole way home. And I remember making the commitment to myself that, girl, you have got to do something. You've got to change your life. The way that you are, like, I'm like, look at your life in 5 years. Where do you see yourself? And I didn't see it in a good place. I couldn't even walk around the zoo with my kids. I had to get a motorized cart to go to the zoo with my children. And I was 33 years old, like, or 32 years old. Like, it was horrible what I'd done to myself. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. So even longer story short, I made a commitment to myself and my children in that car on the way home that I would never feel this way again, that I would never ever go through anything like that again. And it happened in front of my children. And it was the most shameful I had ever felt. And I had done it to myself. Oh man, that hurt because I had done it to myself. And it was just that I made a commitment, you guys, to myself. I'm like, I'm going to start and I'm not going to stop until I'm done. And I said, Erin, what if this time you didn't give up? And I said that to myself, oh my Lanta, every single day of my 4-year journey to lose 238 pounds. I asked myself, what if this time you didn't give up? And I climbed that mountain. And it was slow and steady. But do you know what I don't worry about on this side of my mountain? Going back. I don't worry at all about it, you know, because of the behaviors and the belief I've built in myself. I know I can do it, you know, and whatever the next mountain is, I know I can do that one. You know, it's amazing what our bodies can do when we work with consistency and showing up for yourself. So I started, I kept going. And it took me 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days to lose the 130 pounds I needed to lose. And then I've lost about 8 more so far. But it's yeah, I mean, look at this. I went from not being able to walk the zoo with my kids, you guys, to this 2 weeks ago, I was climbing at the rock thing. Never in my life did I think I would heave my tush up one of those rock walls, you know, and here I am doing it. And I'm like, I'm living my life. And it took me time. It for sure did, but I'm living my life. And I'm so glad I started and I didn't give up. I'm so glad. And I want to encourage you guys with that as well. But I had all that failure mindset that was bringing into my journey. I'm going to pause here and see where Melanie wants me to go next.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
I honestly, Erin, I had met you in Kansas City before you made your commitment to yourself. And, I just saw this like woman bursting out of the seams, with energy and positivity and, and hope. And you did something that was really important is that you made that commitment that this, you just weren't going to stop till you got there. And I think that oftentimes when we make that kind of commitment, the universe moves, God moves, and provides the right solution at the right time. But we've got to take that step forward. So TLS found its way in your life. And I have to ask you really quick, what's your favorite go-to TLS product?
My favorite has always and will always be the shakes. Like Melanie said, I was a massage therapist. So I was so busy all the dang time, and getting my nutrition in was the hardest part because I was dealing with all kinds of different addictions with food and things and overeating and things like that I really was working through with my therapist. And so the shakes were so helpful for me with making sure that I was getting something nutritious in when I was too busy, so that I wasn't skipping meals and I wasn't, eating something quick that was bad for me, or I wasn't door dashing something. So the shakes saved me a lot in that. And I absolutely love them. They're the best flavors, best flavored shakes I've ever tried. And I've tried a lot. They're the best flavors for sure.
Yes.
For sure. And then the ingredient deck is just outstanding.
It's incredible, right? Because we often say it's not just about the protein, that's 10 grams of fiber, and tastes that incredibly great. And such a versatile ingredient, because we have a shaking baking recipe that people can make use of. If you're not a smoothie person, you can totally bake with it and still benefit from the fiber and the protein as well as those vitamins, which is awesome.
For sure.
Love it.
Yeah,
we do love the shake. You just got to try it, right?
Yeah, you just got to try it.
You got to try it to believe it, really, truly. And so, we really want to chat a little bit about this idea of belief systems and believing in yourself. And so, Erin, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, guys. Yeah, I'm so excited when Melanie asked me to talk on this. I'm like, yep, 100%, I'm there. Like, oh my goodness, because I've lived this journey out from the craziest, most unrelatable place to actually finishing the dang weight loss journey. And I want you to sit there with me for a second. If you have tried and struggled with it your entire life, of going up and down and all over the place and trying different things, I want to tell you right now, you consistently doing what you're doing is what's going to get you to the end of your journey. You consistently doing what you're doing, not switching all the things around. So stick with what's working for you. Okay. But I am so excited to talk about believing in yourself today with you guys. So as I was talking about when I was introducing myself, I had a lot of failure mindset behind me, and a lot of really valid reasons on why I could once again not expect myself to succeed in my journey. Because you start and stop 8 times, you gain and regain, or lose and regain 8 times. It really takes a number on you. You have a business fail, you lose a relationship, you have something go on in your life. All those little things kind of take a hit at our belief in ourselves, don't they? They kind of chip away at us, You get fired from a job, you go through a relationship breakup or something. They chip away at us, and that all goes into who we believe we are and what we can accomplish. And I had a heck of a lot of bad ones about myself. I had a lot of reasons to prove that I could prove myself right. Of, hey, no, right here, you didn't do it. So why ever, Erin, would you expect this time? Well, a big piece of this puzzle was I attached it to something outside of myself. I attached my reason why to my children, because I quit on myself a million times over, but I could never quit on them. Never. I could never quit on my kids. So any of those times I didn't want to get to the gym, any of those times I didn't want to show up for that Zoom meeting I said I'd do, any of those times I didn't want to stay my course, I would look at my kids and be like, what kind of mother do they deserve? Doesn't matter physical, doesn't matter anything. They deserve a mother who does what she says she's going to do. And if I said I was going to do it, I'm going to do it. Right. So I attached my reason to my children, and they have been my accountability every step of the way. So attach it to something outside your feelings, because feelings lie to you and they always want to keep you comfortable. So what I want to encourage you guys with, if you're like me and you had or have a lot of things backing up your reasons, I'm saying, the things that chip away belief at you, I want to encourage you that just like any muscle, you can build this in yourself. Okay. And I want to give you going through this journey and helping many others, I want to give you my biggest tips for this. Okay. So number 1, tips for building belief in yourself. Number 1 is to acknowledge the areas that you don't believe in yourself. Okay. This is kind of a shining a flashlight maybe on something that you might want to keep hidden, right? We all have it. This isn't a shame place. This is a freedom place. Weight loss and health is about freedom, not restriction. Can I get an amen? So
amen.
let's talk about the things that hold us back in our belief of ourselves. So acknowledge those areas where you're lacking belief in yourself. I don't believe in myself that I'm going to get up 4 times this week and get my movement in like I said I was. Okay. I don't believe in myself that I can actually finish ever losing my weight. I don't believe that I'll ever be able to be where I physically and want to be. Like, those are lies, y'all. And you can grow that belief. Is it going to happen in 8 weeks? Nope. It took me 4 years. Ask me if I care how long it took me. No, it takes the time it takes, but make sure when it takes that it takes. Let that sink in for a second. But acknowledge the areas that you don't believe in yourself. And you have control over yourself. You have control over yourself. I want you guys to remember that. Like, you have control of everything you put in your mouth. You have control of everything you put in your body and do with your body. It's all in your control. So acknowledge the areas that you don't believe in yourself and call it out, and hold yourself accountable to what you say. And that's my first point in this.
Sure. I feel like some people might be like, well, I don't really know where that is. And all you have to do, I feel like, is listen to that little voice in your head. And some of you just went, what little voice? Well, that's the one I'm talking about. Okay. Because it's the one that says those things like, I'm just not into exercise. Like, just don't like it. I hate it, or, like these little thoughts, right, that are in our head, those that our little voice is giving energy to, or, kind of like what you said, Erin, or I've had a lot of clients tell me, well, I just don't like veggies. I'm like,
so common.
That's a nice story. Thank you for sharing. And so the one thing I always ask is, are you open to trying it a different way? Because maybe they only ate canned veggies or boiled to snot veggies or frozen veggies. I wouldn't like any of those veggies either. Right. Yeah. So,
exactly.
It's easier to identify sometimes these areas we don't believe ourselves in if we're just listening to that little voice.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's that little voice that wants to hold you back a little bit. It keeps you from growing, like, oh, I might not be able to reach that next one. Like, no, you can go. Yeah. And my second point, so first one is acknowledge the areas you don't believe in yourself. Second point is acknowledge and identify all of the reasons that you have to not believe in yourself. So all those reasons I was talking about before, that's what we need to start identifying. Why? What are you holding over yourself? What things are you holding over yourself? Are you holding any failures, any failure mindset, any negative self-talk, any negative affirmations or nefirmations? What are they called when they're negative? Unfirmations. I don't know.
We can make up a name right now.
Just negative.
Unfirmations. Any of that. Identify the reasons that you have over yourself. Write them out, list them out. This can be so daggum therapeutic if you list all this stuff out that you're just holding over yourself that you can't do anything about. People think about you, something happens. Get it out and leave it out. Don't let it. I always tell people, don't bring extra junk in your journey with you. It's so hard to lose weight and focus on health when you're dragging all kinds of CRAP behind you. Like, baggage, it really is. You don't need to. Leave it alone. Truths about this. It won't, nothing. If you can't change anything, you can't change anything. You're just wasting your time. You're wasting your time and your energy that you could be focusing on yourself and your journey, dragging things in that you don't need to. So if you're holding anything over yourself in your journey, maybe you used to be a cheerleader and maybe you've been able to bounce back from babies before and you're having a hard time this time, or maybe you are secretly eating everything you can. And it doesn't matter what walk of life you are, you guys. We need to identify the areas and the reasons why we don't believe in ourselves, call them out. This is a lie. This is a lie. This isn't how I'm going to be anymore. As we slowly and steadily work towards our goals and break these habits and break these mindsets and start building that belief in ourselves.
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of people was that I remember talking one time was the identity, like a lot of people, in order to become the new person, they need to have a new identity. But as human, we like to go to the area of familiarity, like things that we're familiar with, not necessarily good for us, but we're familiar with. So we hold on to that, thinking that gives us some sort of comfort. But that was exactly the reason why we limit ourselves from progressing, from growing. And that's why, too, like you said, to think about that belief, to be vulnerable means that in order to be the new you need to be vulnerable to let go, right? So so I always say, who is the new you? Like, who's the new Erin? Like, Erin right now is not the same Erin's 4 years ago, right? Like, so right now is not the same as Vermali. Like, we have to make that shift, basically, right? We need to make that mindset shift, and that identity is so important.
It is. It is a mindset shift of walking in who you want to be as your best self. Like, I am a firm believer, you guys, that we are all here for a reason. And that reason is to help other people around us. And we have to be our best self, and working in our best self. That means like free and not hurt and all that stuff. Like, we need to be happy and healthy people so we can be more effective where we are in the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. The world needs that. Yeah.
It might seem kind of weird to shine light on this and spend time on this, but it's like, you have got to get out of the dark, whatever it is that's holding you back. Yeah. And you've got to bring it into the light, or it's never going to change. It's always going to creep up, be that monkey on your back. And it might seem weird, like, oh, this isn't like positive thinking. Well, it's like, no, this is about changing things. And that means acknowledging them and bringing them into awareness. And I've done just these 2 steps in multiple areas of my life, where I just, really pour out and dive deep into what I believed or what I was doing that was holding me back. It's like you said, Erin, write it down. It's cathartic. It's therapeutic. One of the things I've done before is I'll write it all out. I'll have a good cry, I might share it with somebody really important to me, and then I'll go burn it in my fire pit.
That's right, girl.
It's like, just let it go.
Let go.
And it's not magic, but it's like peeling an onion. It's just letting these layers go. So it might seem counterintuitive that we're spending some time on this, but it actually is so important to the journey. Yeah.
So important. And take it from someone who's done it. Like, listen to me, y'all. It's important. Dig it out. Pretend you're a garden. You want every weed out of there, because it will ruin your flowers if it's left. You got to dig it out. And the hard stuff too. The things that you're hiding. If you are like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, shine the light. That's what the accountability is for. So good. Number 3, I have start building trust in yourself by consistently showing up for yourself. This is how we build belief. You slowly and steadily do what you say you're going to do. You will slowly and steadily start believing yourself when you say you're going to do things. You will slowly and steadily start trusting yourself with your goals. If you're someone like me who couldn't trust herself with anything, like you could put anything in front of me, I had no control, you guys. I'm embarrassed to say it. No control over myself to not eat the thing, or not do the thing, or not skip the gym or whatever, or not quit the program because I was tired. I wasn't seeing results fast enough. I tell you what, y'all, if I kept going every time I quit, I could have gone up and down this mountain like 9 times, probably. Like, it's nonsense. We waste so much time quitting. But start building trust in yourself by consistently showing up for yourself. This looks like maybe planning your day out, planning out what you're going to eat, right? Planning out how you're going to move your body that day, or how much water you're going to eat. You should have water goals every day, even if they're 30 ounces, even if they're 80 ounces, even if it doesn't matter. You should have water goals every day that you're consistently meeting, right? So every day you should know what you're going to eat, how you're going to move your body, if you're going to move your body, which you should, and then how much water you're going to drink. You should know that about yourself. So, and as you do that, you guys, consistently every day, where you tell yourself, this is what I'm going to eat, this is how I'm going to move my body, and this is how much water I'm going to drink. And as you are doing that, setting those standards for yourself in a realistic way, maintainable, unattainable, sustainable way, you will slowly and surely reach your goals, right? And it's an amazing, beautiful thing. And it makes you feel so much more in control of your life as well, when you're planning and doing the things that you need to do for yourself. And here's the deal. And here's a rule that I have. If you put it on your sheet for the day, you have to do it. So you set your goals for the day. You set them. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm not telling you what to do. Melanie and Suzanne aren't telling you. you're going to say it. You're held accountable to it. So don't put anything on there you don't know you're going to do. Because you know what? If you consistently don't do the things you say you're going to do, guess what that's going to do to your self-trust and belief? It's going down the drain.
Yeah.
So we need to set attainable goals. And because it's like, I know I can do it today because I did it yesterday. I know I can do it this week because I did it last week. And it's those wash and repeat weeks, you guys, that might look a little mundane, might look a little boring, might not be as sexy. You didn't get on the Pinterest and get all the recipes. Those are the weeks where you're going to see your progress because of the easy, repeatable, like easily repetitive weeks for you, where you weren't stressing out about all the things you have to do for stuff. Like repeat, wash and repeat as you go. Stop for a second and go. I'll just keep talking. I'll just keep talking. You told me to give it like a break.
I know. No. You know what? You wrapped it up so beautifully. You know, I think it's great.
Okay. Well, I got one more point on here, and that's start where you are as who you are. That's my last point, you guys. And this is so important. I'm just as who you are right now, you guys, not as who you were in high school, not as who you are before you had babies, not as who you were before you had surgery, not as who you are before you went through that. Like, who you are right now. Your goals should match from who you are now until the next goal, right? Not from you holding yourself to standards that you shouldn't be. This is going to kill your self-belief when you are consistently setting yourself up as someone you're not yet. You know, we come out of the races thinking we need to go to the gym like 7 times a week and eat like a registered dietitian would. And it's like, you got to have some room in there to grow into those habits. There's got to be the growth that happens. And that happens by consistently figuring out how you love to eat. Eat food you love that are good for you.
Yeah.
If you don't like what you're eating, find the things that are on your plan that you love and eat those things. Your movements, you should love how you're moving your body, because I'm telling you right now, I sat down with one of my very best friends today who has MS, and she has just gone through this crazy journey where she can't hardly even walk right now, you guys. And I'm telling you, our life is so precious, and out of nowhere, anything can happen. Move your body while you can move your body. Feed yourself well while you can feed yourself well before you have to, right? Take care of it. We get one chance. We get one body, one life, one health, and we can build into it from right now for the rest of our lives. You're going to be building into it. Think about the most important meeting of your day is you showing up for yourself, because it is. Think about this. If you can overcome your journey for your health and you can get to a place where you are really confident and loving where you are in life, think about how much more effective you're going to be in your roles in life, as a mother, as a father, as a grandma, as a grandpa, as a leader of that business or whatever. Like we need to be constantly and consistently growing belief in ourselves. And it's such a good place to do that, where you're learning and you're growing and you have room and freedom to fumble. Because I'm here to tell you guys, after losing a human man off my body, you're going to fumble a lot. And the fumble is necessary for the lesson that you can learn. Because when you, and here's my advice, when you mess up, which is silly, it's silly, but when you do, the next thing you do, make it support your goals and get really inconsistent with that being the next thing you do. That's your habit. If you eat something off your plan, the next thing you do, meet your goals. Build that belief in yourself that you can immediately take back control, not after the weekend's over. If you're sick of giving up or sick of starting over on Monday, quit giving up on Friday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Take control of your life and your journey. But start where you are. Give yourself grace and freedom to grow and to grow into this. We can't come out of the races thinking we're these like triathletes that can do all the things. Like, oh my gosh, we'll burn ourselves out. We've got to start nice and steady, go nice and consistent, trust the process of the program, trust the process of your body, trust the process that what you're doing is going to give you fruit in your life. Because no matter what, taking good care of yourself is not going to do anything bad to you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
right?
true.
It's not. So it's like,
So
I'm so scared to do this. Why? All you're doing is taking care of yourself. Like, you're just taking better care of yourself. I get it. You can freak out a little, but take that pressure off yourself and just give yourself freedom to grow into this and find that lifestyle where you don't feel like you're dieting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dieting a day in my life. Like,
Mhm.
I eat what I want. I eat the foods that I love. I eat them consistently. I don't celebrate with food or reward myself with food because I'm not a doggy. I don't need a treat. I treat myself well. Like, all you need to do, you guys, is stick to your plan and keep going and be consistent. Right.
Yep.
For sure.
And
I really gotta say that I got the feels there. Start where you're at as who you are. And I was like, I turned an age this year that kind of caused a little bit of mind screw for me. And I was just like, what? How did this happen?
21.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been this like process of just total acceptance, like just love and acceptance and gratitude of who I am, where I'm at in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just acceptance.
Yep.
Like, because I do think that, Erin, you mentioned like, oh, your past self, like you were a cheerleader or da, da, da. But I also think that we often project into the future and say, I should be this person, or I should be more like that, or I should have been further along by now. And so I should be that person. Right. And so there's this sort of past or future that's not allowing us to truly love and accept who we are in this moment.
Yeah.
We often use the word flossom, right? I'm flawed, but I'm awesome. And so it's like flawed and all, awesomeness and all, we're flossom. And just really accepting that. And I think when you just accept that, because there had to be that moment, Erin, when you truly just accepted where you had gotten to in life.
Yeah.
And you went, I can't stay here and I can't keep going down that path. But there was that moment of again, bringing it to the light, and making that big choice. Yeah. And I want to say that I want to ask you a couple questions, Erin. I know, to start at 402 pounds, at that point, most people are considering surgical intervention, or, you made a very brave choice. You made a choice that's best for you. I'm not discounting anybody else's choices. I'm just saying what you did is unusual. And what you did was incredible. And there has to have been, and I because I've been with you, I do know, but there has to have been some setbacks.
Yeah.
We had some setbacks along the way, for sure. I got, Lordy, in 2020, I got 120 pounds down. I had lost 120 pounds. And then I had a medical issue happen to where I could not work out from February of 2020 until after the surgery in July. So it ended up being November. So I had to go almost an entire year without being able to physically move my body in ways that I was before, in the middle of my weight loss journey. So yeah, that was horrible to overcome, but I am so proud to say that I did not gain a pound in that entire year, because my nutrition was so in control, that my body was able to do its best while it was figuring itself out. But yeah, definitely have had setbacks. Currently, I had gotten to a place. I remember I was at 240, and I remember saying okay, I'm done now. I'm done losing weight. I'd been on the journey forever. It was so long, you guys, and it was so bad. I was just flopping around most of it, but I just gotten so fed up with it, and I wanted to quit. And I remember I made even an Instagram post on my Instagram, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to be done. I'm going to be done. And I had somebody reach out to me a couple of days after I posted that, because I was completely set in my way of like, this is enough. Like, Erin, you've lost like 160 something pounds. Like, girl, this is enough. You can stop. And I had every reason to tell myself that. I had lost 160 pounds, but I still wasn't where I needed to be. And I knew that. So I had a friend that directly challenged me. And she's like, why would you stop when you're so close to really being who you really want to be? And I was so offended when she said that to me, because I'm like, who do you think you are, thinking you know who I want to be and all this stuff? Yeah. But she was so right. She was so right. And she shined the light on that I wanted to be done. I wanted to quit. So overcoming that for myself, when my logo through this whole journey has been, what if this time you didn't give up? And here I am. And I had every reason to stop though, but I still knew in my heart, I wasn't done yet. I wasn't done yet. I still had work to do. I still had things to learn. I still have people to reach. Like, I am not done yet. Yeah. So yeah, I had to overcome that mindset of thinking like, all right, because I had hit a plateau and oh my goodness, it was like nothing I did would work. It was so frustrating. It was so devastating to me every week when, and I think we're going to talk about this in a minute, but I was on my journey. I've been on my journey for 208 weeks. 208 weeks I have been in my lifestyle change. 208 weeks, you guys.
Wow.
There have been 26 of those weeks where I had no results doing the same exact thing I did my entire journey. There are 26 weeks in there with no results on the stupid scale or whatever. But I had 182 weeks where I did. And you know what added up to 238 pounds of weight loss? Me keeping going when I hit that 26 week. You know what I mean? That week where I didn't lose. It was me saying, Erin, what if this time you didn't give up? Erin, hey, this time's the time I'm talking about. What if this time you don't give up? Like, every time you get to that point where you would usually turn around or stop or get halfway up the mountain and climb back down. Ask yourself, what if this time was the time I kept going and kept going and kept going, right? And that's what it's going to look like, you guys, the consistency, plugging into things that are working for you and staying plugged into them. Staying plugged into them. Goodness.
That 2 to 3 week where, things can stagnate can be really hard for people. It's when they tend to want to quit. They tend to want to throw in the towel, or they tend to want to try something extreme and different.
Exactly.
They're like, ooh, shiny squirrel over here, And, and so I loved what you said, Erin, where you said, what was the, make sure it takes, what's the saying?
Yeah, it takes the time it takes. Just make sure that when it takes, that it takes.
Exactly. So don't go looking for the shiny object.
Shiny object, right? Shiny object syndrome.
Keep going.
Yeah. And take it from someone who's done it. Like, y'all, the best thing that's going to get you results, consistency. I've done the crazy things. I've tried the nutso things. I've tried to do like keto or something like that. I've tried it. It does not, you cannot maintain it, dang it. Trust me, you don't waste your time with anything that wastes your time. Stick to what is working for you, even when you don't feel like it's working, because usually it's just a little bit more consistency, a little bit more push. You know what I mean? A little bit more push into that goal. What do we need to tighten up? Or maybe what do we need to be a little more free of? You know what I'm saying? And only you can answer that question for yourself. Only you can. But there is so much freedom in this journey, you guys. It's not just about, like, you shouldn't feel restricted all the time. You should feel so free of being able to make these choices for yourself, of being able to choose these healthier foods, of being able to choose to get outside and move your body instead of sit and binge Netflix. You know what I'm saying? You can still watch Netflix, but go take a walk too. You know what I'm saying? Balance it all out.
So one of the strategies that I've used, and I think, Suzanne, Erin, you've both used as well, is this idea of verbal affirmations, positive reinforcement, to really remap the brain to start really believing the things that you want to believe, and start doing the things you want to do. And, our brain is like a computer system, right? And, it's got a hard drive, or like, if you think of a cassette tape, for those of you who are millennials, look it up, Google cassette tape. And so, you know how, super serious though, do you remember when you had cassette tapes and then you could actually re-record over them? You could make a new mix on the same tape.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with the hard drive. And so this is something that verbal affirmations, really made a huge impact for me, because I was like Erin, I had a lot of negative self-talk, negative self-beliefs about myself and my capabilities, what I couldn't do, that were holding me back. And affirmations really helped me get there. So, things like, I believe in myself and my ability to succeed. I have hope and certainty about the future. So Zan, you want to read the next one?
Sure. Everything I eat, I love this one. Everything I eat nourishes and strengthens my body and mind.
Beautiful. Erin?
Making small changes is becoming easier. I enjoy the feeling of well-being these changes are giving me.
I aim for progress, not perfection. I accept mistakes and learn from them.
I accept the past and know the future will be bright and happy.
I say no when I need to. Amen.
I exercise to enjoy a strong, toned body. I love the feeling exercise gives me.
Yes.
It does not matter what other people say or do. What matters is how I choose to react and what I choose to believe about myself.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I let go of all negativity that rests in my body and mind, and I choose to be positive and surround myself with positive people. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I eat clean and lean, baby.
I am a fat burning machine.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I want to say that when I'm 60. Fat burning machine.
Right. Exactly. These are some of my favorites when it comes to revamping and re-recording over that old cassette tape that's no longer working for you. Grab a handful that really pull at your heartstrings when you heard them or when you read them, and just say them out loud to yourself every morning and every afternoon. Like when you're looking at, like when you're thinking, one slice of pizza, I eat clean and lean. I mean, it's such a powerful habit. It truly is. I love it.
It's true. And I think a lot of people don't realize, like a lot of people say, I think that way, but thinking that way and saying out loud has such a different meaning. And I think saying out loud has some sort, like, we always say affirmation, you obviously want to say out loud, but when you actually say it out loud and actually feel it, it has that, it kind of not only reprogram your brain, but it'll give you that some sort of a boost of mentality and energy for you to say, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I know there are times where I feel like, and as soon as I say it, it's almost like recharge, like charge, go for it. And that is so important, because think about a phone that we got so dependent on it. We charge our phone every day. How come we don't charge ourselves every day so that every day is a new day, right? Recharge, basically.
Yeah. And nothing can recharge you like yourself. Like the things that we say to ourselves is what's going to matter. Like I can sit here and compliment you all day and like, oh, Melanie, you're so pretty and you're so good. You're such a public speaker and I love your muscles and your eyes are beautiful. But it's going to be your internal belief system that's going to make you get out there and get your crap done today. Not, you know what I mean? Like it's all going to be you and your goals, and your goals.
And one more thing that people tend to fall in that trap, which we really want to encourage, is don't compare to others. Stay in your lane. Don't compare. And I think it's so hard nowadays because of social media who kind of beautify everything. But we know how many people look like that when they wake up. How many people look like that when they work out, right? We know when we work out, we work out, right? There's beautiful about the sweat, but it doesn't look at the Instagram beautiful, right? So stop comparing. I think sometimes we beat ourselves and say, how come my sweat and my skin doesn't glow the way X, Y, and Z person glow, right?
Right.
Because they used an Instagram filter.
Yeah. Or how come they lost a pound this week and I didn't? Or how come they lost? Right. Like we cannot compare. Every journey, every body is different. If we all ate the exact same, did the same movements, drank the same water, had to say, our bodies would all respond differently and we would all look different. So it's so senseless to compare yourself to anything. Compare yourself to yesterday, hey, what'd that girl do? What'd that boy do? And let's do a little bit better today, where we push ourselves to grow in the areas that we need to. Like, comparison is just going to steal from you all the time.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, Nadine actually just reminded me of one that I use all the time when people offer me stuff when I'm out, and they're like, hey, do you want some, whatever cake was the other day? And I said, I have goals.
I got goals, baby.
I got goals. No, thank you. And it works, and they don't push it. And
it does work.
Reminded me of that one. So what we're going to wrap up here with, then an exercise that's actually on page 95 of the journal. So I hope for those of you who did the pre-reading, you've actually already done this for yourself, is to identify those things that where you do have that negative self-talk, and then swap it for a positive self-talk. Now, I happen to be really skilled at flipping things. So if you're really struggling with that, post in the Team Tone Up page. I'd love to help you change it to something fun, something powerful, something positive. But just to talk about a couple common ones, and then we're going to wrap it up for the night. I think one of those things, when you're used to putting everybody else first, right? So Zan, right, Erin, is suddenly now you're putting yourself in the priority list. And I think that there can be guilt around that. I think there can be that feeling of like, I'm a bad mom. I'm taking time for myself. Oh my gosh. Right. I'm not there 100% for anything that could potentially, oh my God, happen in any moment.
Right. Right.
Yep.
It's a thing for sure.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And so one of the ones that, it's like, the best mom I can be is a healthy mom.
Yes.
So that's a powerful affirmation to just say over and over and over again.
Yeah.
These things are real, that hold us back. And sometimes we just, again, need to bring them to light.
Yep.
I think, Erin, you talked about how many times, or that really ingrained belief that you weren't going to succeed.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah. Like my negative self-talk was always, I was really happy what I was doing, but in the back of my mind, I just knew I wasn't going to finish. I wasn't going to meet the goal. Like I wasn't ever going to get there. And maybe we all have like a get there place in our life. So maybe you can go here with me, but it was constant in my mind of that doubt that I was never going to actually lose the weight that I needed to. So I had to really train myself, and I used every affirmation I could twist and it's all about navigating that self-talk of like, how can I turn this around? Just like Melanie said, like, so I would like, I am going to choose to continue every time I want to quit. I'm going to make the choice to continue on my journey every time I want to quit. I'm not going to let myself quit. Like I refuse. You can slow down. You can take a break. You can let go of the gas a little, but you can't quit. That's not a thing. We don't quit with our health because we get one and it's a blessing to us. You don't get to quit on yourself. Like my advice is take quitting off the table completely. There's no on the journey, off the journey from this day forward. You're on your health journey, and the choices that you're making from this day to the day you die are going to matter for how you live the end of your life.
Yeah.
We have got to take it so seriously, so twist those things in your mind to start building that belief. Like I am doing the things I need to do to see results, or I am giving myself the time and grace to meet my goals. I am working on myself in this area, and I'm going to find breakthrough in it. You know what I mean? Like I'm an overcome food addict. Like food's everywhere, y'all. You want to hear how hard it is to overcome food addiction when there's DoorDash? It's not fun. I'm telling you right now. Like, because when you have food there for everything, you want to eat because you're mad. You want to eat because you're happy. You want to eat because you're celebrating. You want to, it's hard, you guys. You gotta twist it. You gotta turn it. You gotta make yourself believe in yourself. And it can look like self-manipulation, but as long as we're manipulating ourselves for the better, that's better than manipulating yourself for the worst.
We're already all brainwashed. We might as well brainwash ourselves.
Yeah,
positively.
Exactly. I agree, because I think growing up, a lot of people don't realize that we do have we are brainwashed. Not, I wouldn't say a parent did it purposely. It was the only way of showing love. And food, it is around love when you think about it, right? So when people had a bad day, they punish myself with food. Emotional, they punish themselves with food and thinking the food can fill the void. And people know they don't fill the void, right? They know they only end up being worse. And guess what? After a long day of hard work and going through the most stressful moment, you celebrate. You say, I did it with food, right? And this is so normal. And this is why it becomes hard. And this is why we in TLS, we put such emphasis on like talking about like building habits and building healthy beliefs, because this is what keeps, because the program works. But a lot of time, what makes it not work for you is not because the program didn't work, it's because this part is not there yet. And this is why at this week 8, we want to help here, because this is where things are slowing down. You might not see those results as much as you wanted to, and you get frustrated and you said patient, but also know that it takes time. And because of these, and I have to say, growing up, I have to say my mom always reward me with food. Like, we know celebration is food. If you do well, it's food, right? So it is hard, but we need to say, instead of think of food, it's fuel, right? And that I have control over it, building healthy non-food rewards. Like, how about taking a vacation? How about going on spa? How about getting a pedicure or manicure? Well, I would love to have that, right? This still can reward yourself, right? Take that food away and you'll be seeing yourself in so many different ways. I think let not make food the center of the attention, which they have given way too much attention than they should have, basically.
For sure. Yeah. And take the power away from the food and put it on yourself, and start practicing telling yourself what you can have and how much of it, and start practicing that simple discipline for yourself every day. If you have trouble snacking at night, or if you have trouble binging or whatever, tell yourself how much and of what, and only have that much. Get in that discipline. If you're having a hard time taking something completely away, get in the discipline of telling yourself what you can have and how much. That is so much of work being done in there, to one day you'll be able to say, I don't need it. I don't need it. Like, I'm okay without it. You know, it's building that discipline, just like a muscle, building it.
Yep.
Yes. So good.
Yeah, I love the non-food rewards, like, tickets to a concert or a massage or going to the spa for a facial. Things I don't normally do is now, like, and experiences, like going places or having, a girls' lunch, or,
a new outfit.
A new outfit. Absolutely. Even though nobody gets to see any of them right now.
Just on Zoom here.
I've actually stopped buying outfits. That's no longer my reward. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And so I'm all about like other things now. But yeah, that used to be one of my non-food rewards too, because that one was a huge deal for me. No matter what emotions, high or low, I'd turn to food. Food was my comfort for everything, my reward for everything, or sometimes even punishment. So, and then exercising to punish yourself for what you ate. And it's a really vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And it's one that, again, it wasn't until I brought it to the light, and just like, ooh, this is ugly, and I'm going to tell somebody. So, that I was able to shift it and change it. And so there are probably things that have come up tonight that, we are going to encourage you to journal about. We're going to encourage you to have, a conversation with your coach about, to really just bring them into the light. And then you don't have to have all this emotional baggage around them. They don't have to control you. You can let go of layers and layers of that and the shame that surrounds a lot of it, and really start moving forward into that powerful person that you already are. Right. And I know, Erin, your journey is a perfect example of that. This person 4 years ago, and now this person now, just who you are, and how I mean, from the moment I met you, Erin, I knew there was a bright shining light in you. Like, right from the first time I met you. And it is just like, you know, waiting to come out and share, you know, just all the things you have to share in this world. And, you know, so it's really amazing when we do that for ourselves, how many people we can inspire to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
You just awaken your warrior, TLS warrior in you. And
I really feel you guys that once we have gotten to a place where we've done something that other people struggle with, it's our obligation to help them, right? How selfish would I be if I lost all this weight and I didn't help one single other person? Oh my God. Yeah. No, like it's our obligation. If we know the way, we need to give the map to other people. Right. And like, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Yeah. Like normalize weight loss taking time. Normalize continuing when you want to give up. Normalize you controlling your day and saying what you're going to eat and how you're going to move your body and underwhelming yourself in the journey. Like we got this, you guys. We got this. Even at week 8, if week 8's the devil and not your friend and you hate the scale, keep going. Take it from someone who's lost a grown sized man holding a tiny baby in his arms. You can do this if you keep going. You can do this if you keep going. Yeah. If you quit, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. That's just the truth. If you stop doing what you're doing, nothing will happen. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get results. Even if it takes some time, you're going to get results. Yeah. So,
awesome. Amen. That's right.
Well, thank you so much for being on with us tonight, Erin. We so appreciate you. So Zan, thank you so much for everything you do for TLS, as always, our pillar of knowledge and metaphors.
Got me and my metaphor.
She is our amazing metaphor lady.
Talk some parables.
Yeah, that's right. So you guys, we just appreciate you. We're going to see you next week. We have some exciting new testimonials, brand new TLS testimonials to share with you next week. So don't miss that. They're just pouring in right now. So stay focused, stay the course, as our mentor and father of TLS always said, Dennis Franks. So that's why many of us are in this challenge. And so just reminding everyone to stay focused on your goal, recommit. A lot can happen in 4 weeks. And I really want to encourage everybody to shift the mindset from this temporary idea, right? That this is a temporary thing, and shift it to, this is my lifestyle. This is, you know, I'm going to learn and grow within this lifestyle, and it's not done in 4 weeks, but let's just take this next 4 weeks and really focus and accomplish something, you know, that feels good, whether that's sticking to your 4 workouts, you know, every week, whether that's sticking to that water intake goal, just really holding yourself to that next level of accountability and grabbing the people around you to help you with that. All right. So everybody have an amazing week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye everyone. Bye guys.